You're watching Comment with me, George Galloway, here on Press TV, still the voice of the voiceless. We're asking, will the decisions made between John Kerry and Sergei Lavrov on behalf of the US and the Russian governments finally bring the Syrian war to an end? And should David Cameron be prosecuted for war crimes in Libya? David Cameron just bowed out of the British Parliament unexpectedly and very, very swiftly, and in contradistinction to what he promised just a few weeks ago. And the Foreign Affairs Select Committee had a thing or two to say about the Libyan war. Here's a reminder of what David Cameron had to say and the promises he made to the Libyan people in September 2012, when he and President Sarkozy supposedly helped to liberate Libya.
Thank you. Thank you. It is great to be here in free Benghazi and in free Libya. Your city was an inspiration to the world as you threw off a dictator and chose freedom. People in Britain salute your courage, and while we are proud of the role that we played to help, we know this was your revolution from your bravery, from people in Benghazi, people in Tripoli, people in Zlitan, people in Brega, people in Misrata. You showed the world you would get rid of a dictator and you would choose freedom.
Well, that was 5 years ago. Of course, there isn't any country called Libya anymore. Libya is several Libyas, all of them controlled by armed militia of one kind or another, some fanatic religiously, some fanatic tribally, all of them killing each other in very substantial numbers. The one thing you can be certain of, there's no democracy, liberty, or freedom in Libya. And that which David Cameron was hailing there from the platform in Benghazi turned out to be a desert mirage. Now, the Foreign Affairs Select Committee has damned the war in Libya, damned it as unnecessary, damned it as ill-conceived, and laid the groundwork for a potential prosecution of David Cameron in this country and, who knows, Sarkozy in France, because both of those leaders fooled their public, fooled them into believing that only a NATO bombardment followed by regime change in Libya could save a population in Benghazi which they claimed was about to be massacred, but which the Foreign Affairs Select Committee has found to be a baseless allegation. And moreover, no one paid any attention to the actual character of those rising up in Libya against the dictator Gaddafi. I never met Gaddafi or any member of his family. I had nothing to do with the regime in Libya. But I'll tell you something, only someone who was certifiably mentally ill could now claim that Libya 5 years later is better than it was before Cameron and Sarkozy began the destruction of Libya. And not just for the Libyans, but for the whole of the North African Mediterranean coast. And not just for them, because the destruction of Libya has blown open a door for mass, illegal, and highly dangerous immigration from the North African coast to Europe. Thousands of people have been lost in the water of the Mediterranean because there is no Libyan state anymore, thanks to David Cameron. Now, he just quit Parliament and run off He told us when he gave up as British Prime Minister that he would be continuing as an MP. That turned out to be false, just like it turned out to be false when he said that he would continue as Prime Minister even if he lost the EU referendum. Is David Cameron the new Tony Blair? Well, not if I can help it. I'm hoping to make a movie about Cameron and Sarkozy and the destruction of Libya. Watch this space on that. Let's go to Birmingham.